So let's talk firstly about what's going on with the CBA negotiations. Now, Adam Silver has caused quite a stir in WNBA world because he just went on the Today Show and he was talking about the WNBA CBA.
Hey friends, today we've got a wild mix of news about Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and the whole WNBA offseason drama. We're diving into viral wedding photos, some big-time golf plans, a heated front office showdown, and a real talk about who the Fever are actually building their team around. Plus, we'll touch on the WNBA's ongoing collective bargaining mess and Caitlin's huge recognition in Forbes. So stick around, because this story's got layers, and you don't want to miss a thing. First up, Caitlin Clark is back in the spotlight, but not for basketball this time. She recently attended her cousin's wedding in Iowa, and the photos from that event blew up on social media. Jonathan Liquidator, a longtime Caitlin Clark fan, was quick to jump on it, saying he's covering every little thing Caitlin does this offseason.
Now, the Indiana Fever guard went viral over the weekend. Well, she kind of went viral today because the wedding happened over the weekend. It goes on to say, even when she's off the court, Caitlin Clark finds herself in the spotlight. The Indiana Fever guard became the talk of social media over the weekend after a photo of her attending a family wedding made rounds online.
In the photos, Caitlin's looking elegant and relaxed, standing right next to the bride, smiling and just enjoying the moment. Fans love seeing this side of her because Caitlin is known for being a fierce competitor on the court, but off the court, she's got this fun, laid-back vibe.
A fan account dedicated to Caitlin Clark shared the photo. Now, this is the photo right here. Let me see if I can get this thing blown up here of Caitlin Clark at this wedding. Now, as y'all can see there, Caitlin Clark is right here on the end, right next to the bride. And look, I don't know if these other just friends, but it's this photo right here that has garnered some attention and has turned heads. Now, it goes on to say, for some followers, the photo stirred up memories of fun comments Caitlin Clark made earlier this year about love for controlling the music.
Remember when she joked about controlling music events? That nickname, the Ox, stuck because of her DJ skills, which Ariel P's blog highlighted. What's cool is that the wedding Snapchat gave fans a rare peek into Caitlin's personal life, showing her at ease with family, which is a nice contrast to the intense player everyone sees during games. But Caitlin's offseason isn't just about weddings. She's gearing up for a big golf event in November, which Jonathan says is a major sign of where her hype stands right now.
And now we know the Indiana Fever is going to be the biggest talk of the W with this offseason. Stated Caitlin Clark announces update on the WNBA offseason plans, and that's pretty much about this golfing event. Now, fans only got to see Fever guard Caitlin Clark play 13 games, which was very, very unfortunate. But just like I stated, man, the upcoming event, many people, including teammates Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall, have their eyes on is Caitlin Clark returning to play golf. Now, I wonder if Lexi Hall and Sophie will go.
Caitlin only played 13 games last season due to injury, which was a bummer for fans, but she's still making moves. She even surprised Lauren Noggin, a national champion from Northwestern, with a personal Zoom invite to be her partner in a Pro-Am golf event. Lauren will get to play 9 holes with Caitlin and then make her professional debut at the LPGA Tour event, competing for a share of a $3.25 million purse. That's huge. It's got everyone talking. Jonathan's been following Caitlin since her college days and admits it's been tough watching the hype around her fade a bit, especially with Stephanie White and the Fever's recent moves. He's planning to focus his off-season content mostly on Caitlin and the Fever, covering the WNBA lottery and all the Fever news, but probably not much else from the rest of the league. He's inviting fans to share their thoughts because, honestly, Caitlin's journey is one of the most interesting stories in women's basketball right now. Now, switching gears to the bigger WNBA picture, there's been a lot of noise about the collective bargaining agreement CBA negotiations. Adam Silver recently stirred the pot by saying on the Today Show that revenue share isn't the right way to look at things because the NBA has way more money. He said NBA players deserve a big raise this cycle, which makes sense, but it rubs some WNBA players the wrong way.
So what he's talking about here is the revenue share that the players have been fighting for. So essentially what the players have said in these negotiations is that they want to be paid more when it comes to their salary, but they also want a higher percentage of the revenue split, because currently they are only getting 9% of that revenue split. But we have went over it a million times, you guys. The structure of the WNBA, the finances in the WNBA, and the structure of the finances in the NBA are so wildly different. The biggest reason being is because the WNBA does not even own their entire league. They own 42% of their league. The NBA owns another 40% of it. And then there's a group of investors that Cathy Engelbert got on board in 2022 who own another 18% of this league. So the WNBA, the revenue that they get, they only own 42% of that. So it's going to be very hard. And I've been saying this from the beginning.
Right now, WNBA players only get about 9% of the league's revenue, and they want more, both in salary and revenue share. But here's the catch. The WNBA doesn't even own the whole league. They own 42%, the NBA owns 40%, and investors brought in by Cathy Engelbert own 18%. So, the money pie is split, and it's complicated. Rachel Dita, who covers the WNBA offseason, says this negotiation is way messier than people realize.
It is much harder than just saying, oh yeah, sure, we'll give you a higher percentage. And the NBA players get 50% of that. The WNBA is not going to get close to that number, and they are not going to get close to that number for a very long time. I don't truly know what the solution is. Now, in true WNBPA fashion, they decided to clap back on their Instagram account to Adam Silver's remarks, and they posted this. They said, don't want to share at Adam Silver. So they literally tagged Adam Silver, used a screenshot from this interview, and posted this in their Instagram story. You guys, I do not know what they think doing that will accomplish.
It's not just players and owners. There are NBA owners, investors, and other big business players involved. She thinks the WNBA players won't get anywhere near the NBA's 50% revenue share anytime soon. Rachel also called out the WNBPA's Instagram clapback at Adam Silver as childish and unprofessional, saying these things should be hashed out at the negotiating table, not on social media. She finds covering the league exhausting because of all the drama. The league spokesperson responded, saying they agree players deserve more pay and revenue sharing, and they've offered guaranteed salary cap increases plus uncapped revenue sharing tied to league growth. But the Players Association fired back, accusing the league of running out the clock and undervaluing the players.
Rebecca Lobo also went on a podcast, and she was talking about how she thinks the players finally have leverage, and in past CBA negotiations, she thought that the players didn't have any leverage and the NBA could literally just pull the rug and say, yeah, I'm done with this league. But with her saying that, with her admitting that the NBA can pull the plug at any time and the league wouldn't have a league, just kind of shows how much the WNBA was relying on the NBA. So even her saying that, like, I get what she's saying, and she's sticking up for the players and saying, like, they have the leverage this time, they can hold out, they can whatever, but you're also admitting to the fact that Adam Silver is kind of saying, when if you read between the lines on this, is like, the NBA has been supporting this league for so long. In past CBA negotiations, they could say, yeah, we're done, and pull the plug on the league, and then it's done because it's not self-sustaining.
The league then rebutted, saying the players are stalling and refusing to engage meaningfully. Rachel's take? It's a mess, and changing the WNBA's financial structure would require a major overhaul. The NBA's involvement has been crucial for the WNBA's survival, and Cathy Engelbert's fundraising brought in that 18% ownership slice because the league wasn't profitable before. Rachel hopes for a 2026 season and a resolution, but warns that the drama could scare fans away. She also highlighted Caitlin Clark's massive rise, noting Forbes ranked her the fourth most powerful woman in sports. Caitlin's rookie season income was estimated at $8.1 million, boosted by big deals with Nike, Wilson, and Gatorade. Even though she got injured and missed the rest of the season, Forbes called her the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire. Other WNBA stars like Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and coaches like Dawn Staley and Becky Hammon also made the list. Caitlin's agent, Aaron Kane, was recognized too, noted for securing a $28 million Nike deal over 8 years for Caitlin, which Rachel thinks is way too low. She's excited to see Caitlyn's signature shoe drop. Meanwhile, the Toronto Tempo made a power move by hiring Sandy Brondello as head coach after she was fired by the New York Liberty. Fans are hyped about the Tempo's future, especially after the Golden State Valkyries sold out every home game last season. The expansion draft and player moves will be interesting to watch. Now, here's where things get spicy. There's some alleged insider info about the Fever's front office and Caitlin Clark's role. The Simon family owns the Fever, with Herb Simon as the original owner. He's 90 years old, so the day-to-day operations are likely handled by his kids, especially Stephen Howard Simon, who runs Pacers Entertainment and the Fever. According to some podcasters and insiders, Stephen Simon called a meeting with Stephanie White, Amber Cox, and Kelly Kristoff and told them, in no uncertain terms, that the team is building around Caitlin Clark. This is CC from here on out. Stephanie White reportedly hit the roof and didn't like it, but Simon told her, "You don't have to like it, but it's that way." This meeting allegedly happened at the end of the season.
Now, this is what else that was said. He stated, from what I understand and what I was told, when Stephanie White was told this, she hit the roof because she didn't like it. And Steve Simon told her, you don't have to like it, but it's that way. Now, this is, from my understanding, this is a conversation that happened at the conclusion of the season.
This suggests the front office wants to build the team around Caitlin's style, especially her iconic logo 3 shots. But there's a financial angle too. Winning isn't everything when money's involved. The host says to follow the money because that's where the Real story lies. But here's the twist. Stephanie White herself confirmed she's not building around Caitlin Clark. Instead, the team is building around Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey had a great season, but has limits as the first option. She can beat weaker teams, but hits a ceiling as the main player. Playing through Kelsey as the first option also makes Aaliyah Boston a worse player. The alternative, which many fans loved, was the 7 seconds or less Fever style after the Olympics, where Caitlin was the main driver and Kelsey played off the ball. That was exciting basketball. Stephanie White prefers building around Kelsey Mitchell, and the host says people get unfair hate for saying that. He compares it to Pep Guardiola in soccer, who's one of the greatest coaches but has been known to reduce the value of star players like Zlatan, Ibrahimovic, and Jack Grealish. Coaches can be right for the team, but wrong for a specific player. Stephanie White took the Fever 1 game away from the finals, so she's not a bad coach. But she might not be the right coach for Caitlin Clark. To build around Kelsey Mitchell, the team needs a style like Allen Iverson's Sixers or the 2017 Boston Celtics, a ball-dominant guard with tough defenders around her. The host suggests trading Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston to build that kind of team, bringing in defensive dogs like Jackie Young from the Las Vegas Aces and acquiring draft picks. Kelsey's strengths are as a finisher who makes cuts and goes ISO late in the shot clock. Caitlin isn't suited to play off-ball in this system. She's not a strong enough off-ball player or defender to fit around Kelsey's style. The host says it's okay to admit these pieces don't fit well together. Kelsey's role should be as a finisher, not the primary ball handler in a motion offense, which Stephanie White runs. Aaliyah Boston is more plug-and-play than Caitlin, but the team needs plug-and-play players everywhere. If the offense runs through Kelsey, there's no point in keeping Caitlin Clark in the game. Stephanie White clearly wants to run the offense through Kelsey, but Kelsey Mitchell is unlikely to win a championship as the main option. It's also unclear if Caitlin or Aaliyah as number 1 options can win a title. Kelsey didn't make the playoffs in her first 6 seasons and was part of a 5-win team early in her career. She's improved, but first option teams with her have had limited success. The Fever won 2 games late in the season against tanking teams. So overall, the situation isn't great. So what's the takeaway here? Caitlin Clark is still a huge star, with viral moments off the court and big endorsements. The Fever's front office says they want to build around her, but the coach's plan is different. The WNBA's financial and negotiation drama adds another layer of complexity. And the off-season golf event with Caitlin and Lauren Noggin shows Caitlin's star power is still very much alive. If you're into following Caitlyn's journey, the Fever's rebuild, and the WNBA's big business moves, this offseason is going to be one to watch. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think the Fever should really build around? Are you excited about Caitlyn's golf event? What do you make of the CBA drama? Let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates. Your support means the world and helps keep the content coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.